What is up, everybody? Appreciate you tuning in to the Matt Ramage Show, whether you're watching on the live stream or if you're listening on the podcast. Appreciate you. We have a great guest today. We have two Wisconsin artists. You know what I mean? They got a new Wisconsin song coming up, and we're going to talk about that thing. But before we do that, let's give a shout out to some sponsors real quick. You know, we got the draft coming up in Green Bay next week. And if you're coming to Wisconsin and you don't know where to go, you know what I mean? Get your beer, get your maybe some ice, whatever you need, get gas, have a clean bathroom. Check out Quick Trip. They got the hookup, they got the hot spot, they got food on the go, not just in Green Bay. If you travel inside Wisconsin, you're going to be invaded by Quick Trips everywhere you go. So if you need to use the bathroom and do what you got to do, be sure to check out Quick Trip. They got all the things that you're going to need. And also Nicolay Law. If you get in an accident and you get hurt, and the insurance companies are being shifty with you, Nicolay Law is going to help take care of that. You know what I mean? Russ Nicolay, he is the man. And if you come to Wisconsin, you're also going to see all those Nicolay Law banners. They're all over the place, even like Minnesota a little bit. So shout out to Nicolay Law. They're going to take care of you if you get hurt in an accident. Hopefully you don't need them. But if you do, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's good to know that you got that backup. But now let's get to the main event tonight. We got those boys. We got those First of all, I'm trying to read it over here. We got Stress the Mind. We got Trent Magic in the house. What's going on, guys? Oh no, you're still muted. See, every time I do that, I always forget to unmute people. What's up, man? How you guys doing? Here we go. Let's start again.
Yo, Matt. Can you hear us now? We're good.
Peace,
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having us on, man. We appreciate it, and also just want to give a big thumbs up to those sponsors as well, especially Quick Trip and their clean bathrooms. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, I love the clean bathrooms.
Dude, it is, because if you're like traveling, dude, and you got to use the bathroom and you pull up into like a random like Sitco or something, bro, you're getting something. You're leaving with more than chips.
Yeah. And you're not joking. Yeah, it's if I'm traveling anywhere throughout the state and I see I have to go, if it's a Quick Trip, it's automatic.
Yeah.
It's just gonna happen.
Yeah, or like a Buc-ee's or something. Buc-ee's is sweet. You ever been to a Buc-ee's?
No, they're the anti-Quick Trip.
I know. Quick Trip is better, no question about it.
No, I've actually never been to one. They don't have them over here, and I don't travel.
No, they really don't. No.
I should travel.
I don't travel, he says.
I don't like. I should, but like I don't like. I barely. I've left Wisconsin like a couple times. You know, go to a Kmart across the border, Michigan or something. I don't know if they have those anymore, but let everyone know who you are, like what you guys do. I love talking to Wisconsin folks, especially doing cool stuff. I wish, like, being a musician is like one of the things that I wish I could do. Like, I would love to, because I feel like being a musician, you get to tell stories. You get to like give your, like, you know, whatever, like your childhood, whatever you want to talk about. I feel like I think that's like the coolest thing about being a rapper, like Eminem, how he's telling the stories about how he came up or whatever. But
right.
I think I wish I could do it. I can't play a guitar. I can't do anything musically. I can't sing. I can't rap. Can't even hum that good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but let everyone know.
If there's one thing I know you can do, it's dance, though.
Yeah,
dude, I got those moves.
and I know for sure, because as we will get to, the in the music video, you will be showcased.
You'll be showcased for sure.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome. And my friend Eric helped me record like those little clips, and I was like, I don't know what to do. You know, I don't know. And then he just started telling me, hey, do this, do that. And like everything I did in those videos is all Eric. Shout out to him.
No spoilers on your moves either. You'll just have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they'll have
no
to spoilers. Video.
But yeah, dude, to answer your question a little thorough, like Luke and I have been musicians most of our life. Like, you know, we were in our teens, like doing hip hop stuff around the Fox Valley area, and I've been in like a bunch of local punk and hardcore bands and stuff. And we've always kind of had that, and we've always been in the same circle of friends musically. And you know, I've been very creative with just like producing a lot of different music. And he's been rapping forever, and same thing.
Yeah, we've been friends back since we were like 17, 18 years old. So probably about 20 years now. Yeah, I've been doing hip hop and rapping since I was probably about that age. And I used to be in a different group, and we were on a label, and we toured the country a few times and stuff. And it was great. And I had a lot of fun doing it. I've gotten to play in every state except for Hawaii and Alaska in the U.S.
They're the hard ones to get to.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And it was great. But I think life happens and things just kind of slowed down. But Trent and I had never done music together, and so
which is weird because we've played a billion shows together and have done a lot of other things, just never made songs together.
Right. So we decided to start Known Vandals, and this was only back in like September of last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, Known Vandals has only been around since like September, but it's we have a music out, we have videos out at the KnownVandals.com. Our YouTube channel is Known Vandals.
Yep.
Everything is just, there's no other group to our knowledge named that, so you'll find us if you give us a Google search. But yeah, it's just back to what you were saying. It's like letting things out. It's most of our music is reminiscent. People always tell us of 90s sounding hip hop.
I like that. That's all I listen to. Like my whole playlist is 90s besides Eminem, and he actually started in 99, so that still counts. I feel
right.
We call that 90s for sure. He actually started earlier than that, but
yeah, that wasn't his first
his big deal,
hit.
Yeah, and we don't. Our goal is just to make fun or have fun and make it fun for people.
Right.
I'm not trying to. I don't talk about money and like treating women a certain way or anything like that. It's about having fun, and like we want people to have a good time at the show.
Yeah.
And we have songs about some crazy science things. We have songs that are about a more of like emotional lifestyle of like what it's like to live every day and things like that, which everybody can relate to, and that's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to be as offensive as we can in any way. There are some swearing and stuff occasionally, but it's all
sometimes you gotta let them out. Not in this podcast.
I mean, like it's part of the artistic side of like, being a musician. You can let out a lot of different things through a song instead of just like writing poetry or whatever. It's a little different because you can use the music to sort of aggregate those feelings into something more powerful. And but that's what we're trying to do, and we're just doing it through hip hop. And some people will look at hip hop today and be like, "Oh, that's really dumb," and I hate hip hop. But like honestly, we have a little. I feel like you said, like we're in the 90s era of it, but we're trying to be relatable. We're just trying to keep it cool and fun and entertaining. We want to be more of like a hip hop entertainment. You come to our show, we're super nice. We're going to greet you. We're going to hang out. We'll talk sports. We'll talk whatever. And Known Vandals is more of like a culmination of just, the name doesn't sound very positive, right? Known Vandals. It sounds like we're going to, go and
you're gonna ruin my garage door or something.
I have a long history of graffiti art.
Yeah, I was just saying, hey, if they do vandal you, you know who they are. You know what I mean?
Right. It's almost like an oxymoron because like the only thing in the term like with the vandal aspect is like, I guess if you want to keep it, like if you want to go deep with like the terminology of like what this name would even mean for us, it's more or less just a name we culminated over like his sort of history of like old school tagging art and like graffiti art and just the hip hop culture. And that's really it. I mean, it's just a cool sounding name, and I don't know.
Hip hop. Yeah, hip hop in general started. It was kind of like hip hop is kind of like the vandalism of the music industry because, as you may or may not know, hip hop started with a lot of people that couldn't afford to play instruments and things like that, or couldn't afford band equipment. So they would take records, vinyl records, and they would take what they're called break beats, which are the old drums from B-sides of albums, and they would loop those, at parties in the parks and stuff like that, and they would rap over them or kind of make their own music out of it, and that's where hip hop was born. And it started out from poor urban areas, and it's evolved into a million different subgenres as it is today.
Yep, DJ Kirk, Melly Mel.
I was gonna ask you that, like, who are like some of the early people? Like, do you remember like your first hip hop album or song that you heard? They were like, I love this, man.
For me personally, I mean, aside from the big giveaways and stuff like that, like Big Pun and Tupac and Biggie and all them, I would probably say Cypress Hill probably, or House of Pain, as Jump Around, which is like the bad song.
Yeah.
When I heard just stuff like that, it makes you feel a certain way that you just really want to move, and like you don't even necessarily need to know what they're saying. It just hits. Maybe you don't feel that way about it, but that's how hip hop.
No.
So
Yeah, so I was just stunned because like how old are you guys?
I'm 37.
I'm 39 soon.
Yeah, because like I was thinking like my first one is like way before that is like Roxanne. Remember
Oh,
you
Sure.
guys know that
yeah,
song?
dude.
Roxanne,
Yeah,
Roxanne, I wanna be your man.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
dude, I remember like because I was like my brother was in like heavy metal and like I didn't
yeah.
have any hip hop around me, and like somehow I found this tape, the Roxanne tape, and I was like, dude, I listened to that song over and over and over again, and I like memorized it. And I'd walk around rapping it,
Yeah.
not well, but I'd
Right.
go around, and that was like when my like because like ever since then I've pretty much been hip hop. I mean, I like some classic rock like AC/DC, but hip hop mostly is like what I listen to, like in my truck.
Yeah.
First of all, I feel like hip hop, like if you're going to work, it kind of like wakes you up a little bit. You
Yeah.
know, you
For
can
sure.
Yeah.
because like I don't want to listen to like like some sappy song like in the morning because I work at 4 in the morning. Like I'm trying to get something to like not make me crash into this tree. You know what I mean? Wake me up a little bit.
Right.
So yeah, I absolutely love hip hop. I like everything about it. I like the storytelling about it.
Yeah.
Like you said, like the fun, like upbeat, like and there's so many different like variations. They got Eminem, he was talking about, maybe putting people in trunks and whatnot. Then you got like Will Smith, talking about his
Yeah,
love for
yeah,
Miami, and like there's so many different variations. They're not closest of friends, but
Right.
there's so many variations of it.
Yeah, there's so many subgenres. Or like, for example, like I'm a metal fan myself, but you got new metal, you got metalcore, you
Yeah.
got death metal,
Rapcore.
you got like grunge metal, you have
Yeah.
all like they're
And the genres.
it just keeps going, and it's like rap hip hop are like the same thing. There's some stuff is completely positive, some stuff is negative, and there's stuff all in between,
Right.
which are and at least for our stuff is like I only talk about things that I'm about and I actually do. I mean, I'm not a gangbanger by any means, shape, or form.
No.
So I don't rap about that life because I don't live that life, and I'm not
Yeah.
not going to try to pretend that I do.
But that's
So-
because we have respect for what we're doing. Like
Right.
we don't want to be something we're not ever. And
Oh yeah, for sure.
especially in hip hop, because then you're what they call a biter. And then you don't want to be known as someone who sort of talks it and doesn't walk it.
Yeah, and
I mean, it's just how it goes.
I feel like 'cause, like I've talked to like when I first started doing podcasts like the Packers content, I've talked to like a lot of people who are really good at like the best at it, and that's what everyone said. Kind of just be yourself, like do your thing because like it. First of all, it's easier than trying to be like I'm not breaking down X's and O's. Ain't nobody watching film over here. I just drink beers and talk.
Yeah.
So I think it's like the same thing. It's like be you and
Yeah.
tell your story but like you guys talked about like you haven't been making music together for very long and you already have shows and all that, so like how did that all happen where you like you started like putting out the music and then getting shows because that feels like it's pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, I've been producing hip hop music and stuff for a lot of other artists the past probably 6 years, but like really the past 2 years, super like very focused on it.
Yeah.
And he was in between another group he was trying to do, and it just kind of was, it just wasn't working out with timing issues and things. So I was just like, Luke, your boy, like let's start doing stuff and getting it done. So I sent him some beats, and then it just sort of clicked instantly, and we came up with a name, and I had probably 4 or 5 songs, like beats kind of ready that we agreed to do. He hit the lyrics up. We came here to the studio and just knocked like 3 or 4 out in about 2 weeks. About that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and then now we've got all of our stuff on every streaming platform so far, about 8 or 9 songs there, and 7 to put out yet. And this great song we're going to talk about in a little while about our great state. And yeah, it does seem rapid, but once him and I sort of decided, here's our goal with this for the next couple of years, you put your mind in a mode of like, you just got to start creating and knocking things out. And also, I will say, and I'll test it. He's had so much experience touring and writing and creating as well, along with me, that when you combine 2 people with that energy and that stuff just connects really well, and it just is almost second nature, really.
Yeah, I think that helps. Like you both had that background,
Yeah.
so when you came together, it just it didn't take that long.
It helps knowing each other as long as we have too, because if there was no dynamic and we were just people we didn't know, we.
Yeah, you don't want to make. I mean, sometimes you don't even want to. You don't want to work with somebody you don't like, much less make creative
I do.
You know, so, it's
I'm just kidding. I love everybody I work with. They might be watching. I love them all.
Yeah, for sure.
So let me ask you this. First of all, while we're on this subject and my memory just clicked, my guy, Eric, he is a lead singer of Ask Your Mother Band, and he's gonna be playing. His band is gonna be playing on Friday night of the draft at Stadium View. So everyone, if you're out and about at the draft area in Lambeau Field, Friday night Stadium View. Ask Your Mother Band, fantastic band. I will be there. I'm definitely gonna check that out. But I want to ask you this because I've had him on before. I'm gonna have him on again. Actually, Monday night he'll be on with me. But what's it like playing for people? Like I think that's like my biggest fear of standing in front of a bunch of people and they expecting like they're like entertain me. You know what I mean?
Well,
so like, what's that like walking on stage?
I can tell. Okay. From my experience, well, back before you were talking about Eminem, people our age, or probably early 30s and more, will know Eminem's group D12, right? So, Bizarre and Royce the 5'9" and Swifty, all that. So my hip hop group from years ago toured with Bizarre from D12. So I know him decently well. I got to be in one of his music videos, and I don't rap in it, but I'm like in the video. We got to get to know each other pretty well, and it's from going with touring with somebody like that to just starting out doing local shows and things like that. It's really weird because the way that I've always seen music is, at least with rap, right? So if you have a band, you have a guitar player, a bass player, you have a drummer, sometimes another guitar, sometimes a vocalist, right? So you have this whole dynamic.
Sometimes Slipknot where you have 9.
Right. Right. You got all these like things going on, right? Crazy, and people's eyes can move around and entertain people, right? But especially with rap hip hop, if you're in a 1 or 2 person group, I've always thought, okay, I need to make this entertaining. I don't want to just stand there with a microphone and stare at the ground and pace around. I need to when people want to be entertained, they're coming to see something, you know, like let's say you're playing the show and your tickets are $30 or $40 or whatever. Some guy working that's a lot of money to somebody else.
Yeah.
Then if they really come to see your show, they don't want to see you just stand there. You know, I personally look up to a lot of rappers or that people that influenced me, and I've seen them live and that was horrible, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, I'm like, this is so boring. That's like an insult to the audience. And so
when the light show does more than the person,
right. And so
it's like, oh,
it's so like being in that spot's kind of scary because I played shows for 5 people. I played shows for 500 people, and it's like, I don't really feel any different either way. I feel you should give 100% every time because
those nerves hit sometimes. It doesn't matter if it's just even on here, the nerves I feel are the same type of nerves I have at a show sometimes.
Right. And especially for hip hop, one thing I've always advocated for, and I always will advocate for, is you will never, if you eventually see a KnownVandals show, you will never hear me rap over my lyrics ever.
That's
It's always instrumental, and I do it live. It's not let me play my CD and then stand there. Like it's gonna be live what I'm doing. So maybe some of the choruses might be there just to give me a little breather, but I've always thought it was kind of corny when rappers just like play their songs.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I feel like, because I've seen Jay-Z talk about this. I think Eminem a little bit in interviews.
Yeah.
And like, I think there's a video of Jay-Z when they tried to he was doing a show or whatever. And I don't think it was one of his shows. He was like part of a show or something. And they put his audio over it, and he's like, what are you doing? Get that out of here. I don't want that.
Right.
I feel like maybe the new age rappers do it because it's easier. But I mean, I don't think it's good either. But I'm not a rapper, so I'm not gonna be.
Right. I mean, to a point, like you need breathers and you need room because obviously a live show is a lot different than recording.
Yeah.
You're moving around a lot, but that's what you get a hype man for. You know, someone to help you out. But
I'm gonna be a hype man.
It's like
you should, man. We love man.
But I mean, to go back to the question of what's it like to entertain, it's scary, man. Like I've never I get nervous every time and I don't know what's going to happen, but kind of once it starts, it's kind of on autopilot, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Where you
it does
just
make
go,
sense.
you just go and you just live off the moment and do whatever happens. And sometimes you mess something up and then you just have to, in my case, freestyle it, just make something up on the spot. You don't want to admit. I mean, I've seen bands where guitar players of strings have broken mid show
Yep.
or whatever. You keep it going because you're there
Just
to
keep her
entertain.
moving.
Right. You're there to entertain people, have fun. Like, don't, that's the way it should be. It's entertainment first and foremost, rather than just me rapping words, I suppose I could say.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me being like kind of what we would say on the boards, I'm doing a lot behind the scenes as well as doing like his backup vocals. So even when I'm thinking about I'm putting on a live show, I have so much other things I have to think about other than eyes that I sort of blank out because I'm busy. But I will tell you throughout my time, and you know how many like hardcore bands I've been in and stuff, I've been the vocalist like screaming a lot in hardcore bands and punk bands. So having that adrenaline come out through a scream and being able to like run back and forth, you're shaking those nerves regardless because you get to like kind of yell and move.
Yeah. Who doesn't like yelling?
Yeah, and so like
Who doesn't like yell?
who doesn't like it? It's great. But like but yeah, I mean I've had nerves, but I guess like we're stoked to get our first show as Known Vandals under our belts, but it's nothing new to us, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean I've probably honestly probably at least played probably a little under 500 shows in my lifetime probably. That's a lot, like
Yeah, that makes sense. Like why you guys kind of like when you came together, it was easier because you're both, that's what you do. Now you're just
Right.
doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. We're not new to it at all, but but
Yeah.
every environment is different. You never know. I mean, because sometimes people will really like it or be having a good time, and I've so many times like with my older group too, we would play and people that were just there in the background or happen to be if it's a local bar or whatever it may be. They're like, man, I don't even like rap, but you guys were really entertaining and fun to watch, or whatever it may be.
And that's the goal.
And that's the goal, and that feels good. It's just it's. I said it before, but entertainment. You
Yeah,
gotta,
and that's what it's all about.
yes, yeah.
We just want people to have a good time. And, the other thing that's kind of neat sometimes is maybe a song will have some form of relation to someone. Maybe someone will relate to something we're saying or like really take it to heart. That is just a bonus. Like, we're not setting out to specifically do that because, when the music starts here and we start creating and writing it, we're kind of doing it for us first. And if someone goes, man, this line was awesome, thanks. Like that's like the best compliment you could ever ask.
Yeah.
The fact that you're even there or listening to us at all is like that's all we could ever ask for. So.
Yeah, yeah. And the way I've always seen it is even if people are like I don't like your stuff at all, or I think it's horrible. I genuinely am appreciative. Like, thanks for listening to it, at least trying it. Like, you don't have to like everything. There's no way I'm going to make you like exactly the things I like, and that's fine.
Yeah, I get that a lot too.
Yeah, yeah.
My comment section, they're like, "This guy sucks."
Yeah, that's just how it is, and it genuinely doesn't bother me because it's like I'm just going to do what I'm going to do, and if your goal is to make everybody happy, you quit.
Oh yeah, no one will be happy. Definitely not you.
It starts here.
Yeah.
It starts right here.
Well, I think every like artist I've heard talk about that says that they made it for themselves. I forget, there was a famous someone who said that I make the music for myself, and if I like it, they'll like it because this is what I've always been doing, and I think that's best. And actually, my content I've been trying to do more of that. Like when I first started, I would always like, what would people want me to talk about? Now it's more like, let me have fun, let me screw around, and if you're having fun and you're enjoying yourself, I think the people watching or listening, they're gonna feel it a little bit too. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you have such a unique voice, and your platform is so unique as far as like a personality in the realm of podcasting and sports, and especially for the Packers. And I think you stand out and you set yourself apart just exactly by what you said, just being yourself. So kudos.
Yeah.
Boy.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Let's get to some comments. I appreciate everyone who's watching live right now. I think you got some friends over here in the comment section. People know a little
I
bit
haven't
about
looked
you.
at it at all. I don't even know how to.
All right, we got. He said bringing the Packers into this. Trent is the grandson of a Packers Hall of Famer. That is a. Is that a factual statement? And tell me about that.
It is, yeah. So my grandfather was probably one of the most important Packer players in all of Packer history, due to the fact that he would maintain the wellness and health of the players on the current roster. That being Dr. Eugene Bruschi, 1993 Hall of Fame inductee, and
There you go.
many
that
Super
was-
Bowl rings.
That's awesome. So yeah, so he was like made sure everyone was healthy and see they could have used him right now because lately the Packers have a lot of injuries.
I sure know. Yeah. Yeah,
That's
but my
awesome,
grandfather- Yeah, he's pretty decorated, and he was there for like Super Bowl I all through, everything. And he was Vince's really, really good friend, and so it's pretty cool to hear some stories when he was alive. It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so you must have heard a lot of cool stories like growing up. Did he talk about it a lot?
Yeah, for as much as I would hang out with him and see him, because he was on the other side of my family. So when I'd hang out with them, I heard a lot of cool stuff. Don't expect me to pull one out of the hat right now.
Yeah.
But
We don't need one. You can
Yeah,
keep those
no.
to yourself. But that's cool to have like someone like that. I don't have anyone important in my like. I shouldn't say that because everyone's be like, "Screw you." But we got another one here from Andrew. He says, that's a super chat. Yo, $5. I ain't sharing it. I ain't sharing. I appreciate that,
$5,
Andrew. What's up, y'all? When the first CD dropping? L's up. Are CDs still put out? I'm not sure if CDs.
We're not planning on putting out a CD. It's going to be, obviously streaming, but we'll put out a vinyl.
yeah, we'll have some vinyl, maybe cassettes because it seems a little niche right now, but
But
very short run.
but as
Are
far as
cassettes still being made? Are they bringing it back?
Oh yeah,
our
it's pretty huge right now.
our good friends in a band called Crucial Moves, their album is coming out May 3rd, and we're actually playing that show with them, and theirs is coming out on cassette tape too.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
for some reason, I know there are some CD collectors out there, but it's either people stream or they want a vinyl or a tape. I don't know why that is, but that's what's happening
It's the way it's.
now.
It's those '90s people. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? They
yeah.
did. Dude, I remember I had this old pickup truck when my older son got his driver's license,
Mhm.
and it had a cassette tape thing, and he was like putting his phone in there. He was like, "What's this for?" And I'm like,
Hold my phone. Yeah.
and then I showed him like you could put like that tape in the cassette thing and hook it up to your phone, and play music, and that just like he was like, "What's happening?"
Yeah, I remember.
He still has no idea what that is.
I remember walking home from school with Discmans in my hand.
Yeah, and you had those shock ones, right? If you had it in the vehicle, it had like shocks on it, so if you had a bump, didn't work for nothing, but it looked cool. They tried.
Sony came out when I was in like freshman year, so like 2002 or 3 or something. It was like the Sony, it was like a Sony Walkman, but they came in like multiple colors and they were clear, but like see through, like pink, green.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
Remember those, dude?
Yeah, and that was exciting, and I think
Those were
I think that's more exciting why people, because especially vinyl, you get all different different weights and different splatter and different, like, you can do interesting things with a vinyl record, whereas a CD you're kind of limited to how you can make something look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's more of a collectible thing. I see a comment. Oh, back to that show. Yeah, May 3rd is actually going to be the first Known Vandals show. That's at Misfits Tavern in Appleton here. May 3rd, Misfits Tavern.
There we go. There's that comment right there. We'll get to some more comments over here. I want to say what's up, Ed the Diver. My God, what's up? Thanks for tuning in over there. And we got Ryan Rubel in the building as well.
Hello.
What's up, Ed? What's up, Brian?
Ed,
You
Ryan.
boys could use some pocket cheese, he says.
Pocket cheese.
Dude,
I
got, dude. I got more cheese. I work at a cheese factory, bro. I never run out of cheese. Sometimes it's in my pocket. You know what I mean? I put some in my wallet. I put slices of Kraft in my wallet once in a while.
I'm assuming they let you guys get leftovers or extras or whatever it may be.
No, we can order it though.
Mm.
Can't steal it. I don't do that. Let's go, Tracy. This is so cool. Packers legacy. There you go. You know what I mean? We got ourselves a Packers legacy over here. And Ed the Diver, I love your new song. Oh yeah, you guys are gonna hear it. So let's talk about that, Ed. I appreciate you bringing that one up, so we can get back to what we were here for. All right, so you guys have a new song coming out.
Yep.
How did this come to be? How did you think of this? And like, how did this whole thing? Because it is a great song. I got to hear it, so be jealous. But how did that all start out?
Okay, so we a few months when it was probably back in January-ish, I would say.
Yeah.
We were making, we're just working in the studio, doing our regular songs, working on things, and I started thinking about. I was like, man, we're both from here, and rap culture, rap and hip hop culture in general has a lot of violence and a lot of like gang banging and stuff like that. And not a lot of people, people like to brag about where they're from, of how violent it is, or like, life's like that, or how poor they are and things like that. Right. And I thought, you know what? I'm not like that at all. I don't live that life. I'm from Appleton, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud to be from Wisconsin.
Yep.
And, Trent is from here too. So I thought, why isn't there a song that's just celebrating Wisconsin culture, like in a positive way, like
Right.
what we're really about in a positive way? And to our knowledge, we looked, and of course,
Like an all original song.
right. We've known there was a group called Shad Rap from the '90s, which was awesome. There's Cheeseheads with Attitude, of course. I'm sure you've heard
Dude, I
of.
met them one night at a bar. I barely remember it, but I remember. I got a picture.
So there's them. There's the Upers and the 30-point buck. Everybody knows that, right?
Yeah.
And we just thought, okay, so a lot of these guys, like great music.
Some of my favorites growing up ever.
Dude, 30-point buck, dude.
Yeah.
Did you
Right.
see the 30-pointer? Dude, I remember doing dishes, and that song would come on every like 3 minutes.
Yeah, dude, WIXX had it all the time.
Yeah. Shout out to
so
WIXX.
So we thought, okay, as far as I know, everything has been either a parody of a different song, or has been in the style of, or about the Packers only, or about one subject. And I said, why don't we do a song that's about Wisconsin culture, like the anthem of Wisconsin? And that's how we came up with the name Wiscanthem.
Yeah.
And he worked on the music for it. He sent it over a couple days later, and it just hit me. And all I did is I wrote, as you know, Matt, you've heard the song. Ed the Divers heard the song. Ryan Rubel's heard the song. It just came out, and it came out great. And it's who we are. It's what we are. I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not. Again, like this is me. This is who we are. We're from here. I'm not going to pretend I'm a violent criminal, because I'm not at all. So
Yes, you are.
So I like pudgy pies. I like cheese.
You
I like
vandal, you.
I like cheese curds. I grew up north, as they say.
Right.
So
That's one thing too. Side note: we both had cabins up north growing up, like
Crivets, Wisconsin.
literally.
Oh, say, where is up north for you? Crivets?
Up north
Yeah.
for me was Crivets, because that's where my grandparents lived when I was growing up. And
Yeah.
I mean,
I used to live there.
As a kid, going to Crivets from Appleton seemed like an eternity.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like an hour and 20 minutes or something.
Shout out to High Falls Boat Landing 6.
Boat Landing 6.
Dude,
Also
let them know.
Vacation Land.
Bro, Crivets is the... Dude, when I was young, dude, I actually lived there for a little bit. And my parents had a cabin with a trailer, but like they had land up there. And I ended up moving up there, and I lived in a trailer park for a little bit. Tornado hit. I was like, we getting out of here. But it was good living there. But there's so many like cool like bars in those backwoods.
It's
They
great.
got so many cool spots that you don't even know where they are until you just stumble upon it. Like you're just going down all these like curvy roads, and then there's so many. They did go-karts, there's all types of cool stuff for kids. Crivets is the spot.
Yeah, but do you know Vacation Land in Crivets?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's not open anymore, but it used to be bumper coats, bumper boats, horse riding, arcade, go-karts.
That ice cream was slammed.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. They had like if it's the same place that I'm thinking of, they had like a ice cream spot. It was like a little mini fun land.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like a fun park.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yep.
But it was like, Renee's, The Woods, Schaefer's, Man, all that.
They had a bar over there when I was a kid. My parents used to go to. It's called Dockside, and there was like a dog named Doc,
Yeah.
I think, and he would like walk people to their cars,
Sweet.
and like yeah, I don't know. At first I wasn't so sure. I was like, I think about to maul us. What's happening? Like, no, he walks you, and he greets you. It was like a big dog. But anyways, yeah, there's so many cool spots. Crivets is endless, and then the winter they got the snowmobile and stuff. They got yeah. I remember like living there.
That's
You
a little
drive down the
aside.
road in like winter, and that snowmobile would just cut out in front of you like a deer.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of town. Yeah, that's a great spot. But anyway, I think we got off target there because you mentioned Crivets.
So then we came up with the idea for Wiscantham, wrote it, recorded it, loved it.
Yeah.
And then we started thinking, man, this song's not just about us. It's about Wisconsin culture, like everything. So we need to get part of the community involved. So I had reached out to my good friend Spencer Young of Forever Young Designs, who
my man.
Spencer, that's my dude. And he was like, man, I know some people that could, that think I would like this song. And so we just started showing it around to different people like yourself and at the Diver, of course, and Ryan Rubel. And they were all like, this is great. This is amazing. And our good friend of mine, Trace, who is the lead singer for that band Crucial Moves that we're playing with coming up on May 3rd. He is a professional videographer. That's his day job. And he's like, man, let's do a full-on video for you guys for this song. All about Wisconsin. Have you guys in all different costumes, all different areas at supper clubs, hunting lands, fireplaces, Lambeau Field, et cetera. And so we've been working really, really hard on that. And he's actually finishing it up. And yeah, April 24th, the video will be out, which Matt you are part of that video as people.
Dude. I've been bragging about it at work. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be in a music video. And it was like the same time, like when we started talking about this, is I went on WBAY in the morning show.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, a couple Fridays ago, and I was like, bro, things are looking up. I'm in a music video. I'm on the morning news, and I'm over here flexing at the cheese factory, letting them know. They're like, you're not rapping or singing, are you? I was like, no, I'm not. I'm just there.
Hey,
dude.
there's always a chance. We got you, brother.
Yeah, you don't know how we're gonna edit it. So,
dude, I'm telling you, it's like watching the NWA movie. And like them showing, obviously the movie, but like I assume most of that story is factual. I know movies how they change it, but how they taught Eazy-E like how to rap and like that the beginning. I was like Dr. Dre, like if you have a really good producer, I feel like they could make anyone a good rapper in the studio, not like performing or whatever.
Sure. And
they can.
They can. Like if they just tell you what to do, say it this way, and if it might take a long time if they're really horrible like me. But I feel like you can make something happen. Couldn't perform it ever again. But like, I feel like if you produced it right, you could have a scrub out there rapping.
Yeah,
at least for like a small amount of time, not a whole song, but you know what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, it's. I mean, again, going back to it, rap is, you don't need much. All you need is you can snap your fingers and you need to be able to speak, and that's it. And you can rap. So
pretty much.
Well, good or bad is the difference.
Right, and that's the thing.
Some people don't even rhyme these days.
And there's a lot of studio magic. People that are electronically enhanced to sound better than they actually are. But that goes back to and I'm not trying to call out anybody, but I mean it's like that's why I believe in rapping your lyrics live, not over your stuff. Because if you're gonna be that, then you should be able to deliver it and not just be hidden behind a computer and not be able to do it.
Oh yeah, and that's why I think the difference between like an MC, like I've heard Eminem talk about this before. Like there's a difference between like an MC, like I was talking about. You could make someone. You can make Ryan Rubel. He's over here in the comment section. You can make him. You could give him a few lines and probably make him sound decent. But he's not going to be able to perform it. You know what I mean? Because he's not a rapper.
Well, yeah,
right. It's all MC versus a rapper is Matt. You probably know KRS-One. That guy speaks a lot about it, and a rapper is just somebody who can say words that rhyme over a rhythm, which anybody can do. An MC is going to be somebody who can move a crowd and entertain people and make you really feel a certain way.
Right.
I
Yeah.
guess is what the difference would be. And Eminem's exactly right.
Yep.
In that aspect.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's we got Ed the Diver and Ryan chatting over here. Keep making cheese, bro. All right, I'm gonna try not to. You know what I mean? Matt is a great dancer. I saw it in person inside Lambo. I danced for a while. Not usually sober, every now and again. You know what I mean? I was like for our clip, and in the music video, I was sober for that. So that's why the dance moves weren't quite maybe as well, because I feel like a few beers in,
I think so.
that's when I get jiggy with it. You know what I mean?
We should get a few beers in you and have you come spit some bars, homie.
Yeah, dude, I'll spit some bars, dude. You know, you want to hear, dude? When I was a kid, I used to do like little rap songs, and
Like in your like 2XL or whatever. What was
yeah,
it called?
dude, I was like 12, 13 years old, and I used to, I had this song where like this like chorus. I was like, you know, my name is Matt. You know, I like to rap, and it was like this whole like corny, like crisscross type rap, because like that's who I was listening to at the time. I loved crisscross back in the day. I used to wear my clothes backwards, not outside. My mom wouldn't let me. She wouldn't let me go to school like that. But like in the kitchen, I do like little dances and stuff. Crisscross would be on, and I used to know all the words. I'm glad we didn't have phones with cameras back then.
It's so weird that like I'm a big fan of Crisscross too, and
Big time.
it's so crazy because you can go listen. I mean, obviously they're hits, but you can go listen to the albums, and those I think they were like 10, 11, 12 maybe at the time.
13.
Yeah, they were young, like
They
12.
can wrap circles around most people now. You know, like
Yeah.
So it's crazy to me. And I feel like the showmanship is dying. You know, as far as the MC thing is definitely dying out, which is sad, but that's how things go. Things change.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that like that's why I don't really listen to a lot of new age rap. Maybe I'm just getting old or whatever. But yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Like it's more like they're just like I remember back in the day, like boy bands were kind of like that. You had like the Backstreet Boys, you had NSYNC, like the top ones, but they'd always try to shove one in there, and they would just grab some guys who can sing and dance a little bit. They'd throw them together and then make a band. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening now with rap is like they're just putting people out there that can do it, but like they're not saying anything and they're mumbling or adding stuff and I mean, like I know like Post Malone is someone who like was that auto tune or whatever, but I feel like he's really entertaining.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge Post Malone fan. I don't like listen to him. He's not on my playlist. But I don't know. The videos I see of him, I actually like him. I think he's a good dude. So, but I'm not a huge I don't listen to a lot of his music. But I feel like his shows, like what I see, he's kind of he's entertaining. He's like entertaining a lot of people. He's big time. But yeah, I don't think it matters like what you do if you're entertaining. But some of the new age stuff, I feel like they're not saying anything. And I don't mean that about Post Malone. I'm talking about like Lil Pump or whatever. Like Lil. I mean, if your name starts with Lil and it doesn't end with Wayne.
Yeah, there's a new one every day, man. I don't know.
Dude, there's so many Lils. But anyways, so so this song comes out April 24th.
That's right.
And so how do you get stuff? Like you got music, like you're talking about it's gonna be on all streaming places, so it's gonna be like people can listen to it on like Apple and Spotify or like. How do you do that? How do you get songs? Because I know they don't just put anyone's music on there. How do you? I'm kind of curious. I don't know if it's a dumb question, but like, how do you make that happen?
Sure. Yeah, we just have a distributor that I post the song to, and then they check, make sure all the credentials are there. We credit ourselves for being the creators of the song. If there's samples and things that I use in the music, I have to credit the samples. I have to get those passed. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do. And then, depending on artwork and things, that all has to be processed as well. And then once that's all done, that distribution company is partnered with all of the streaming platforms, and it goes all out at once. And then outside of that, like our YouTube channel is just our YouTube channel. We just make the video and post it. But yeah, I mean, it's not like we're not signed or anything, so we don't have anyone to answer to but ourselves. So we just find like third-party distribution company that is awesome, and obviously it costs money to do that, but yeah, they do everything for us. It rules. Yeah.
But,
yeah, that's cool. I never knew how that worked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, even the comments now on the way things are, like I've been involved in the music. I mean, probably a good 20 years now. I've seen behind the scenes with bigger people. Like I've been to Tech Nine's house before.
All right.
Stuff like that. Like I've known some of these people behind the scenes, and it's like it's not really even a label. Labels really don't do a whole lot. Like it used to be like 90s and earlier, right? So if you had music, no one really had home studios because no one could afford it. It just wasn't a thing.
Right.
And to get something out, no one could burn a CD. If and your listeners know what I'm even talking about, copy a CD.
They might be old enough.
Share
I'm
it.
on
Nobody
Facebook.
could stream it. If you wanted to hear a song, you had to buy that album. That was the only way.
That was it.
Or borrow
Or
it from
sit
your
by the
friend.
radio. I remember
Right.
that song, like I forget the name of the song now, but I remember sitting by the radio for hours. It was that Busy Marks. That song when he had a girlfriend and she, he's like, I went through. I forget the. I can't.
Oh, Bismarck.
Yeah, Bismarck.
Just a friend.
Yeah, just a
Yeah,
friend.
just a friend.
Say
I don't know
he's
why
just
my
a friend.
that's one of my favorite songs of
Yeah.
all time.
Big respect
But like,
to Bismarck.
Yeah.
I used to like sit by the radio and wait, and then I would just scream because they'd talk over it.
Right.
They'd be like, "All right, here's Bismarck," and they just start talking. Like, bro, the song started. I'm recording this. I don't want to listen to you on my headphones.
But yeah, back to that. It's like labels used to be like, okay, we're gonna press your product up for you.
Yep.
We're gonna put it in stores so people can get it. We are going to, distribute it all over. We're gonna book you tours, et cetera, et cetera. Nowadays, you pretty much can do all that stuff by yourself with the internet.
Yeah.
You can. There's people out there that are massive that has very successful careers that have never played a live show in their entire life. Anywhere because they have a video get big on YouTube or whatever it may be, right? So, yeah, we're not part of a label, but that doesn't mean we wouldn't want to be.
Oh yeah, I think nowadays it's almost better not to be like at some point because like, you hear a lot of rappers talk about the labels just screw you over. Like if you can do it, like the game, which obviously you do.
Yep.
You don't need it. Even like podcasting. Like I used to think about that. 2010, Cheesehead TV. I remember watching them. That was like the first person I'd seen like fans talking about the Packers. And I never thought one day I'll do that. I was like, that is like alien talk. Like I don't even know how, but now anyone can do it. You get StreamYard, you get Restream. Yep. Anyone can have a podcast, get a microphone. You don't even need a fancy mic. You could just,
no,
you could do a podcast on your phone. Like the technology nowadays, anyone, if you're good enough, like you can do it.
Yeah. And then it's just like, and I don't even think it's whether it's music or just making a funny video or whatever. It's a lot of it. I think now is right place, right time. You know what I mean? Being seen, being heard by the right person.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes. But yeah, it's labels. I've known plenty of people through the years that they sign to a bigger label and they give them X amount of percentage, and then they're selling tons of merchandise with your name on it, and you're not getting any of that. You're not getting any of your show sales. You're not getting any distribution rights. You're not getting any radio play. Like none of that stuff. Like you just get that initial money up front, and you think it's a great deal, but it's not. So
yeah,
it's just
a lot of people get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
But hopefully, like now people are kind of learning because you got like the big artists are talking about that type of thing. But so we got Robert East over here. Let's see what he has to say. He says, "Sit by the radio, press record on your favorite songs. Have you top 40 mixtape by noon. Might get a little Casey Kasem commentary in there by accident. Yeah, dude, I remember that, dude. I remember that, dude. Those were good times. Man, we're having a flashback over here.
That's some of my favorite times in the world. I remember going up north every Friday after work, and not to say WIXX again, but they were the real deal back in the 90s. And it'd be like, it's the weekend. It'd be like a huge mashup of like all the hottest hits, and then they'd go into like Chumbawamba. And man, life was good.
Dude, it was just as good for TGIF watching TV when Family Matters and Full House and all that was on.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, dude. Yeah.
But to dial it way back, this Wisconsin song, everyone, I hope you guys don't have a hard time talking about it. Because it's not the easiest word to say.
Wisconsin.
That's it.
Wisconsin.
Speaking of which, Matt, we got a shirt for you.
Yep.
When I see you.
Beautiful.
Are you guys going to be at the draft?
Yep.
Yes, we will be at the draft. We will be handing out these. We got these little cards here made as the talk showing people about the song.
Yep.
Got all of our friends' connections on the back there, and also we got little stickers made with our logo and Wiscantham out now, which we will be giving out to anybody and everybody who wants one.
Yep.
And yeah, it's come and check it out. It's a good time. It's if you're from Wisconsin or have even spent a decent amount of time in Wisconsin, no matter what age you are, you're gonna enjoy something from the song and the video.
Yeah, I think even if you're not from Wisconsin, never been here, you kind of know the vibe of what Wisconsin is. I think it's definitely check it out because I think
This is the song that'll help you know more.
yeah, if you don't know, now you do.
Now
you
you
know
know.
what I mean?
Yeah, the video, at least I haven't seen the full video myself. Like I said, to be honest, it's not being completely done yet.
Soon.
But the cuts that I have seen of it are hilarious.
Yeah. So.
It's going to be just a visual storytelling as well as lyrically. I mean, so it's a good time. It's a very good time.
Yeah, that's awesome. You guys should perform over at the draft. You know,
We would love.
I would do in a heartbeat.
I'll talk to Roger Goodell, see if I can figure it out.
Yeah, we would love to. We don't. We
Yeah.
haven't had anybody reach out to us or
Dude, that's-
look, but I would gladly, no problem.
Dude, I don't know anybody, but I'll pretend I do, and I'll talk to my people.
Yeah,
I don't have people. No, but like
No,
I think that'd be cool.
you can just-
No, like you ever see that guy who makes videos? He's a rapper. He just raps. He goes to like NFL game. I think it's like Miami maybe base. Might be the Dolphins game. I forget what game. I think it might be a Southern team. But he lives there, and he just raps about everyone walking past me. Just freestyles.
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff.
I follow him on Instagram. I love that guy. That guy, first of all, the skill that it takes to like rap about what you're seeing and make it good
Top
and
of your
not
head.
just like
Yep.
stupid
Yep.
is like ridiculous. But yeah, maybe you could do that.
Yeah.
Just
You
set
know,
up a
we might be
speaker.
able to- We might be able to perform the song sort of busker style with a speaker and a mic.
I mean, yeah, we could walk.
That'd be awesome.
We could walk around with a portable thing and do
Yeah.
it. He's gonna be interviewing people at the draft. We're gonna walk around while we're handing this stuff out.
Yeah.
You know, what do you know about Wisconsin? You don't know much. Well, here, listen to this. Check this out.
Yeah.
You know,
Dude,
'cause- so
that's awesome. I like that idea. We should we should definitely link up at the draft.
Oh,
we will. We will.
Yeah, we planned on pantsing you.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, we're meeting. We'll be meeting up with Ryan and Ed as well, and I'm sure
Yeah.
Spencer, of course.
They're all getting pantsed.
All
Yeah, they can.
Just
Not
one
me.
big prank all day.
My pants gotta stay on. I got nothing to brag about under there. You know what I mean? But
I feel you, man. Don't worry.
Your Super Bowl 31 boxers, maybe?
Super Bowl 31.
dude, I don't have no boxers that old, dude. My boxers last me about 2 months. I should. I mean, I probably shouldn't wear them that long, but that's just my prerogative. You know what I mean?
2 months straight, and then you.
Yeah. He's like last minute. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, from use it? No, continuously.
Yeah. You know, yeah, I don't like to waste water on laundry, but yeah. So yeah, like definitely the draft. What do you guys think about that? All right, you growing up in Wisconsin,
Sure.
you ever think that anything like this would ever? Because I feel like the draft has been talked about coming to Green Bay for a long time. They've wanted to do it, but it's always like that ain't never gonna happen. So you guys, what are your thoughts like the draft actually being in Green Bay and like you ever think it was gonna be?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. I mean, they've been talking so long about it. I eventually expected it to come here, being the mecca of all of sports stadiums and towns, in my opinion, not just being a fan, but
It's a factual statement.
yes, I'll take that to the grave.
All my friends from out of state that I've toured with
Yeah.
or did shows with that are from wherever they're from. If they come here or they come around, if they stayed with me or in the area, they're like, "You live next to Lambeau?" And I'm like, "Oh, about a half hour. Can we go?" Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, always.
I'm super stoked on it because being born and raised in Green Bay, even though Lambeau's in Ashwaubenon, it shouldn't be that way. 1 second.
Dude, you guys got like a whole lot of something going on over there, huh? Hopefully
Yeah,
everything's
there's-
all right. You got fire trucks, huh? Is that a fire truck?
There was a fire and an ambulance, I think.
Yeah, I know my sirens, baby. No, hopefully everyone's all right over there. Hopefully no one's house is burning down or nothing. But
I think we're
Oh,
clear.
yeah, no, we're good.
We're good.
I think it's awesome for the city of, well, Ashwaubenon, I guess, since that's where all the revenue is going to go, unfortunately. But, just for Green Bay as a whole and the whole area, I think it's incredible to have this come through. It's almost like the playoffs kind of came here anyway.
yeah,
just
it,
that
I mean,
helps
and like
revenue.
and even like beyond that, like I
Oh,
feel
yeah,
like
no, yeah,
it's gonna be like not just Green Bay, Ashwaubenon. I feel like the whole state, like
Yeah.
there's gonna be people staying, which is so weird because I hear people saying like I'm staying in Milwaukee. Like that seems so far. Like you must
I
not
was-
drink.
I was thinking about that the other day too, about people that are, coming here for the draft because they're going to be from all over. And I was thinking, why would hotels be booked up an hour and a half along? And I'm sure the rates have skyrocketed.
Well,
Yeah.
I run in Door County, and we're booked for the draft.
But it, but it, but,
Yeah.
but it makes sense because if you're thinking hypothetically, you're coming here from the West Coast, right, or something. What's an hour and a half?
Oh
drive
yeah,
to
that's
you?
nothing to them.
So what?
It's all highway. It's like not. Yeah, it's not horrible. I just want because my son. I don't live actually in Green Bay. I live a half hour north a little bit. I grew up in Green Bay, but where I work is up here. So, but my son lives there, so that's what I'll be saying. But people have been asking me, and I'll ask you this, but I'll say my answer first. But people are like, "What's your advice being a local or like being from Wisconsin, about what to do for the draft, like where to stay, whatnot?" Like I always say that if you don't have a spot to stay, like find a campground, like even like in one of these small towns, like in Wisconsin. Like people aren't really going north; it's mostly south. There's so many small towns that have that campground. But what I would do if I was coming from like somewhat far away, I would rent a van. And then, especially if I'm just coming with my friends, you don't have your kids or whatever. That's different. But like, just rent a van, throw an air mattress in the back, park on the street somewhere in Green Bay, like close to Lambeau. They're not gonna like bust anyone's chops because they're sleeping in their van, like like a normal time or whatever. No one's gonna even know. And then just throw an air mattress in there, sleep. Especially if you're there to party. Because at the end of the night, who cares where you sleep? Just
stay up.
like if you're really getting after it, like
Right.
I've slept next to a few bonfires in my life, so I could sleep in a van. I could make that work.
It doesn't matter where you sleep; it only matters where you drink.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, dude, if you're coming and you're hanging out with your guys and you're all just maybe you don't all want to be in the same van unless you're gonna rent like a U-Haul, it might get kind of packed in there. But I think that's what I would do if I was just rent a van, or if you have a van, and throw air matches in there or whatever, and save yourself like a lot of money. Because like I see a comment right here, or someone was saying it's like they're charging like $600 a night for the draft. I think for hotels, I think it might be even more than that. I don't even know idea what people are charged, especially if it was Airbnbs close to Lambeau. Like it's I know that they were saying early on, they're like, oh, they're charging $40,000. I don't know if that's true, or like what those prices are, like the neighborhoods around Lambeau who are Airbnb in it. But
Yep.
I wouldn't pay that. I don't care.
I mean, I'm sure, and I mean, if you have the money, I guess, whatever.
Oh yeah, like if you got it like that, and you're like, hey, yeah, have at it, have a good time. But like, I wouldn't pay.
I would put
too
up
cheap
my
for that.
couch for some be like, I have a couch, fits one, $300.
$300. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'll let you stay in my backyard. No, people ask me, can I stay with you? I'm like, I'm not even staying with me. So, like,
Yeah.
no. Plus, I could never Airbnb my house. People who are Airbnb their actual house that they live in, that's
Yeah.
weird. Because I
Yeah.
wouldn't want someone sleeping in my bed.
No.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan. I got a dog. He sleeps sideways in the bed. I don't mind him being in the bed, but like I don't sleep that good because my dog. But I don't want him. He's comfy.
Yeah, I feel the
So
same.
that's the only person, and my wife. I let her in there too. But
I know.
all right. So where can obviously you're going to be at the draft. This song drops the 24th. Do you guys have any shows coming up?
Yeah, May 3rd.
Oh yeah. We talked about that. May 3rd. You're going to be at where was that again? We had
Misfits Tavern in Appleton with our friends Crucial Moves.
There we go. So be sure to check that out. And yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys. You know what I mean? Check them out. We got Stress. I'm trying to read here. Stress the Mind, Trent Magic. I'm sorry, I forgot your names.
Okay.
But my memory is not good. I forget the people I work with names all the time. I worked with them for 20 years.
I've seen you every day for 20 years.
Cheese factories do that too.
Dude, dude, that cheese, bro, it like, it gets all up in the air, the cheese vibes, we call it, and it gets all in your head, and you start forgetting stuff.
Get your brain curdled up.
I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. Appreciate everyone who watched live and listened to the podcast. Be sure to check them out. Known Vandals. You're on Instagram. Where else are you guys at social media wise?
Facebook,
Facebook.
YouTube, everything's just Known Vandals. Spotify, Apple Music, everything is just Known Vandals. So you find us everything on there.
Yep, Known Vandals.
There you go. Known Vandals. Check them out. Go listen to music. Go check them out on Spotify, wherever you listen to your stream your music. Check them out. And they got a great song coming up. And I'm going to be on the music video. So that's going to take it down a little bit, but it's still it's still a great song.
No, that'll bring it up. It's bringing it up.
Yeah, we bring it up. We got we got Ryan Rubel. Who else is in that before we cut out? We got Ryan Rubel, Ed the Diver. Who else did you let be in your great music video?
Spencer from.
Oh yeah, Spencer. Big shout out to Spencer.
Yep.
He's got some. We're supposed to be making me some draft shoes. We're gonna see if that happens. I know he's a busy fella.
We got a lot of our friends and family are in background shots. Just people that we can't thank enough for coming out for. You'll see. You'll see. There's a lot of work in this video. A lot of work.
Lots.
Yeah. So dude, I can't wait to see it. April 24th. Check it out. Known Vandals, YouTube. Watch the whole music video. And then obviously on the streaming platforms, you got that. We're going to wrap this thing up. Big shout out to you guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me and telling us your story and chit-chatting a little bit. And we're going to be heading up at the draft. And maybe I'm going to do an interview with you guys at the draft. I'll be interviewing folks too.
Perfect.
We can interview each other at the same time because you're interviewing people too.
Okay. We're doing it.
Done.
We'll do question for question. All right, we're out of here. I appreciate y'all listening. Big shout out to Quick Trip. Big shout out to Nicolay Law. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Welcome to the Ramage Show. Midwest vibes, set your spirit flow. Pack inspired, hear the anthem loud.
Yes.
Still suck with the grind go wild. Football dreams to the land of lace. Green and gold with every move we make. Fan you not, other stadium live.